All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at how this season of Arena went. We're going to look at the runes and monsters and talk a little bit about my philosophy in the draft and kind of wrap it up and put a bow on it and get ready for Special League and the next season. So here's how I finished. I'm not doing any wings today. I feel like I'm where I'm going to be. So we are at rank 2874, about 300 ranks outside of G1. The best part of this season was my victory rate was up quite a bit compared to last season and just seasons in general. 55.3 is a new recent high, I guess, since I've started. Since I haven't made G1 since like season 8 or something. I've been doing sort of a cleave, and it doesn't have very high of a win rate, and I felt a lot better about the sustain turn 2 kind of tanky team that I've been running this season. So that's a major win. I mean, if you look at the season before, I just barely snuck into C3 at 2.9%, whereas this season I'm comfortably C3, almost G1, but not quite. So pretty good. The way, let's see, I don't know if I have my matches on here anymore. Okay, so there's a point, it might not have been in this cycle, but I kept hanging around 1800, so it felt like it was worth pushing to try to make the G1. And there's a point where I got really close. Was it here? No. It might have been here. There was a point where I got pretty close, where I felt like I was one match out of G1. One match out of safe G1, which I think would have been about 9 points above where it was at the time. And I lost. And I was like, no, it's so close. But I had that opportunity a couple times to get pretty close and just couldn't do it. So that's where we're at. Can't always, get exactly what you want. There's 2,500 people doing awesome who have Gannies, have Daphneses, and they want the skins real bad. So they are killing it. It's really rough out there. I've never really played during Smurf Week where you have a higher chance of losing to ranks below you because there's a high chance that they're shooting up really fast at a higher win rate than you. And so the problem with that is if you face the C3s or C2s, anything below you, and their runes and monsters are better than their rank generally represents, you lose more points to them. And so you have to beat more of your level players to climb back up, and it's really tough. Like, really tough. But the matches were competitive and fun, and I felt like I had a pretty good strategy. I made some mistakes, but overall, pretty good. So we're going to look at all my RTA units. We'll talk about which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like, which ones I used, which I didn't use. Mina, I used a little bit earlier when I was more scared of Verds and Daphneses. I kind of got over that a little bit, but I used her then. She's pretty fast, one of my speed threats. So there's the stats. You don't need a lot of crit on her. The Vigor I also made fast. He's what, 94, 04, 09, right? Yeah. So pretty fast on Swift. I don't know that that's necessary. I think maybe Violent makes some sense because him going first only gives you no crit rate, or the anti-crit buff, which I don't feel was super impactful against Cleaves for me. The other problem I have is skill-ups being not here. But they only take a couple, and his impact on the game, I think, is worth the skill-up. So I'll probably double on him when I acquire some more. Because I think he really could be a core unit for a long time. All right, Tetra I made just for Gianna's, and I had not played her enough to feel comfortable with her, and I don't feel like she was super effective for me because I didn't really know how she fit into my draft. So I'd throw her out there and then, hit or miss, right? Actually, I wanted to say 50-50, but maybe that's a good win rate against Gianna. So, I don't know. I'll test her some more next season. Praha I used occasionally. She's got that crit rate I like. There's the stats. I thought she was really good in situations. I think my problem was that I would pick her wrong sometimes, and I'd put her in situations that weren't where she shined. I liked her against the Ophelia, the fire paladin. I mean, she dots them up like Rika because they have so many buffs. So that was nice. I faced a Rika Vigor comp that Praha just destroyed. So that was nice. You got to be real careful with her though. You can't rely on her all the time. You got to really know when she's needed, and then and I don't feel like I have a firm grasp on that. Here's my bow long, really fast. The speed I thought was helpful, and sometimes it would snipe me wins that I maybe didn't deserve getting that quickly. Like, I could, against other bruiser teams, it gives me quite a boost. I can snipe out a Triana right away. I can ban a Vanessa and, kill stuff. So that was really nice. He is on Swift Will. I guess you don't really need to see the runes. You can kind of assume. I like his HP, I like his defense. The accuracy is pretty good. Doing okay. You don't get his skill 3 as much, so you really want to use it for that one time when it can influence the match, since he's not non-violent. Josie, I don't even remember putting on crit damage. Huh. She did well when she was in play. I thought she was just as good as ever. Nothing new. Here's the Amelia. Pretty high on defense. I like her high on defense because late in the match, you want her to be able to kind of hang out in pony form. The most recent buff to her, where she gets a heal in pony form, won me a couple matches when it was just her left. So that was a good buff for me. So I thought that was really nice. Here's the Bulwark. 273, pretty fast on Despair, which I think the Despair runes on him really lived up to their name, because I could see through the tablet into the other person's eyes playing the other team, and when the Bulwark Despair stunned him, I'm sure they felt despair. I'm 90% sure there was despair in their heart, because who does this? Who does Despair Bulwark? Me, because I had the runes, and it gives him a little bit of something extra. I don't think I'd recommend it as an ideal build, but I can do it, so I'm going to do it. Why not? So here's the runes. That's my fastest rune. And then I've got these 2 nice Despair runes. That one and that one, which is weird that I don't have a fast slot 5 Despair rune. Eventually, it'll come around. Slot 5, no big deal. So that's Bulwark. Wusa, he's really fast. He's really fast. But I don't feel like even using him to take turn 1, I don't feel like he had much impact on the game. In fact, I would say he was probably a net negative to my teams. I think he probably did less than he brought. So I think Vigor might replace him permanently. But that's how I ruined him up, and that's what we did. Barbara, very late addition. This is my build. I wanted her to be a little bit tanky, so that's why I got some HP and defense. This rune, I love this rune. This is another good rune, which I just need to fix that attack, and I never can pull it. I can make that so good. See, it's waiting, but it's not good yet. But that's a weird rune. I didn't quite figure out how to fit her into my comp, and she was always the squishiest since I was playing super tanky turn 2. So I don't feel like I gave her the opportunity to shine. I think if I want to play turn 1 Ganny Hathor, she fits in there perfect. I just don't know if I want to play them. So she's good. It's just, I don't know if I'm using right. All right, this is my Verd build. Triple Revenge, as tanky as I can make him, which most of the runes do him justice, tanky-wise, except his slot 2. This rune is so bad, but I don't have a better one, so there it is. And he was so tanky, and he would get focused, and he would sometimes just straight up dominate. He's much slower than you would see in general, and I kept slowing him down throughout the season and tanking him up. Every time he died, I'm like, nope. And I think it worked okay for me. He does his job. He's not some, first turn Verd. He's a super tanky turn 2 Verd. So, that's Verd. Vanessa is a tank. She's shield, will, nemesis. She's probably how I should build my Bulwark, except, no, these stats. She's just a tank. She's bringing the tank. Good resistance, also 75. I wanted her to be against Cleave, and Daphnis has used her very sparingly in that role, because she doesn't do anything else for my team. She's only a counter pick in my current team. So that's Mesa. Here's the Harmonia, my first pick most matches. I really kind of went all out for her. So she's 266 on Violent Will, and she's got some of my premier runes. That's a good one. That's a good. This is about as good as it gets in Mysteryhunt land. But yeah, I feel I really like her as a healer. She's got so much going on that it brings a lot to the table. A lot of healers don't bring a lot, and she really, really does. The offensive nature of a third skill that also heals is super swingy, and if you time it right, I would have matches where I'd be low, and I'd be like, it's not low enough. And you can feel confident in how low your units are when you have Harmonia and Cleanses, and you can kind of let it ride a little bit, and then switch it on them and take all the HP. Skill 2 Cleanse Heal, fantastic. And then the skill 1 Control is awesome. So I like her a lot. I built this, I never used it. I don't know what I was thinking, but here it is. All right, my Antares is another unit I really like, and when he is needed, he executes. I mean, he does his job very, very well, I think. He's on Despair Broken. I experimented with Will, and I experimented with Revenge. And I think Broken, I mean, just the stats here, I think are worth it. And he hits really, really hard. The attack is super helpful. Yeah, so he's great. New unit. This one's pretty new, and I really, 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 really like Veligul. Like, a lot. Like, I thought I would like Veligul, and I'm like, I need a Veligul. That would be good. And I play Veligul, and I'm like, I love Veligul. Veligul is the best. And I like this build quite a bit, too. It's very efficient. It's got good damage, a little bit of accuracy. Good speed, not that 260 Veligul speed that you see sometimes, but pretty good speed. It's on Violent Will. And you'll notice my Will runes all, like, 50% of them are ancient. Like, since the ancient thing has come out, my Will runes have gone way up. I don't farm Necro. I farm the Despair Will Alunia dungeon for Will. Save every single re-up now. I've used some before. So every single ancient re-up for Will runes. That's what they're for. And it's gotten me a 27 speed, a 24 speed, HP slot 6. I mean, it is primo. So, little tip there. This is one I re-upped recently. It's not done. But you can see this is a problem. I need a better thingy. And then this is a problem. Those are okay. But it was that was a re-app that I had pulled it. And it isn't the most efficient stats, right? But it's good enough to move on. Like, I think its efficiency is like 107. And it could be better, but I'm not going to harp on it. I got problems elsewhere. That one's good enough. All right, Sierra didn't use too much. She's on a fatal damage hybrid build, kind of tanky, but lots of good damage. She works okay. I don't know. I've been relying on her. I built this as a concept, but it never really came into play. High res, tanky, Nemesis, Eladriel for Cleaves. And I just had better options and didn't really use her. So one of those options would be Triana. She's on Violent Broken, because the stats on the Broken I just like a lot. Like, that's a really nice rune. She's on 99% resist and HP defense resist. So 35k HP, 1600, 1700 defense. What I had found is I was running around triple HP, and it still wasn't enough for Daphnesses. Like, they are nuts, especially with an attack buff. They just execute you. So I was like, okay, let's try resist. I don't know. I don't use it much, but it's okay. Ganny is another one of my gadget kind of trick units. It's super fast and sneaky, and if they're not on Will, you win. So that's what I do. It's one of my counters to speed teams. I don't know if he'll stay like that, but we worked fine like that this season. Especially my counter to Hafer would be Ganny Vela, and they're like, okay, Vela's a slow unit. The Ganny's probably tuned, and no, the Ganny's really, really fast. Leo, I didn't use much at all. I cannot get my Leo slow enough. He's just on, I wanted to say broken, but technically that's not broken. He's on rando runes. Yeah. Trinus, another one of my, I think, well-runed units. I like him a little faster than most, which I'm not sure is correct. I've seen some in 210 range, and I like mine almost 240 if I can get it. So that's where we're sitting. 2k defense, crit damage you can see there, and good HP. I like good HP on mine as well. So here are the runes. That used to be my Diana rune. Yep. I wish I could make that a 10, but someday. There's another just a great solid looking Will rune, And he's just got a lot of everything. This rune I really like a lot. It's not quite done. I tried to roll that once, but it didn't work with a 7, and no. And then that rune I think is okay. Okay. Hathor, 247 speed, 91% accuracy, good defensive stats. Didn't use her too much. I never wanted to pick her. Like, I never win to matches picking her. I would end up picking her last pick when she would dominate if she was let through. And she was generally banned in those situations. Yeah, I feel like if you're going to first pick Hathor, you need like a whole thing to do. And I don't want to do that thing. And I think having a Chiwu is almost, well, I want to say mandatory. It's very, very important. And I don't have one. So Hathor is not part of my core comp. Odin, nope. Diana, I like my Diana quite a bit. The speed, I think, is nice. 274. 174. 45k HP. 1,000 defense. She does a good job. She's on Will. Could that rune be better? No, I love that rune. Wait a minute. This rune rolled all in crit damage. So I would put orange on that and reroll that if I could. And it's got the accuracy in that rune. That rune's so nice. So nice. Another just solid Will rune. This was my event rune that I think is done because it rolled 10 there. 5. That could be a little better. I almost would want to, like, not with that, but like convert it with a really good HP. But those are all in use. Another good rune here. No speed, but my goodness, it has everything else, doesn't it? Like, just does it all. Yeah, I don't think I would change it. I like it. It's super efficient. And so it's Diana's. This is another weird rune that didn't go very speedy, but did everything else really well. So that's Diana. This guy I never used. I probably should have. I built him to use him, and then I never picked him. So I don't know. I don't have faith in Magnum. I feel like the problem with Magnum is that he's often against Bastet, and if you can't strip the shield, you can't kill. And so what would be a DPS check becomes a resist check, I think. And he has no accuracy, so he fails that check, is my experience. Here's my Miho. Didn't really use her. Did I put my best runes? No. You can always tell what my best vamp set is if it has 27 speed here, unless I used it as a broken, which I might have. Because I have one vampire. I don't know. That's my best Nemesis rune, so maybe I did. Didn't use her a lot. Don't intend to. Shouldn't fit what I want to do. I would rather kill her than pick her. Okay, and that is everybody. I don't think I had anybody else that I would pick from the rando section. Nope. Okay. So that is my team. There's a lot of counter picks in there. I think I want to do a couple things different. I felt like I kept falling into this rut of relying too heavily on turn 2 and double healers and not having the right mindset to pivot into aggression when it was needed. I would double down on turn 2 healing and then just wrecked because they did better. I think that's something I could be a little bit better at, pivoting into a more aggressive style of play. It's something I have an issue with. But overall, really happy with the season. I think based on the number of wings I played, had I played more earlier, I think I could have climbed into the high 1800s when everybody around me is roughly my rank. I think I can't say that with certainty. Because I'm always kind of like around the bubble, but had I done that, I might have had a chance to stage 1, like maybe. So that's my only thought of what I could do better next season, but I don't want to play that much, so I don't know that I will do that. But season wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. To everybody finishing out your wings, good luck, and I hope you get the rank you want. And we'll see you in Special League. Take care, everybody.